Well, first, before I say anything that's been said, can you tell me your last day, all of you, essentially in theory, together with Sunny?
Uh,
That is a
it,
hard question to answer because the last day we saw Sunny was like yesterday and tomorrow, 1,000 years in the future,
No, I don't think we
and
saw
Dude,
her in
we
the
Pierre,
future.
are.
shut up. It feels like all of our days have been running together. We've been kind of trapped in the basement.
Look,
Ooh.
the last time we saw her, we were picking up errands. We were running errands for the royal family. We split up and haven't seen her
Yeah,
since.
in a basement, which I can only hope was yesterday.
We
Maybe.
split
Well,
up
she was
and
found
haven't
three
seen
days
her
ago.
since.
How? Never mind.
She was found 3 days ago in the basement of the church. Uh, in not the best condition, I'll say that.
And what
She
kind of
shouldn't
condition
be
is that?
sleeping, right?
She had some. It looked like she was tied up almost with some like metal shackles on her wrist. There was some bruising. There was some things stabbed through her hands, and then essentially something with her eyes was really like. I don't want to say they were taken out, but they were definitely messed with, to say the least.
But she
And-
looked like when
Well,
we
great.
saw her last, she was just asleep at a table.
We didn't see that.
And then
was
she
awake.
vanished
When
from
we
a
saw her
table.
last, she was still awake.
No, we saw her pass out. She had her head hit the table.
Oh, I don't remember.
Oh yeah,
this.
that's right.
Yeah, like that was
But-
when that was before we
In
got.
any case, we don't have shackles. We don't have weapons that could cause all of those injuries. And we didn't have any in that basement to begin with. The only one thing that could have stabbed her, really, well, is the one with the axe. And axes don't really stab
I'm
that well.
pretty sure that's.
Miles,
Yeah,
sure we
you're
all
not
have
helping
weapons.
you're
me
not
in
well.
helping my case.
yeah, but the hands were stabbed. You have axes. What part of that says stab? If anyone was going to be the one that did it, it would be Miles probably, and Miles wouldn't do that because he doesn't kill without. Well, he wouldn't have thought Sonny was good enough to kill
That's
at all.
true. That's true.
If he doesn't even kill the dwarf, and he hates the dwarf in our group.
Wait,
If someone was gonna die in our group, it probably would be me or Winslow from Miles, and we're alive. So no, you didn't kill Sonny. You had
None
no
of
reason
that
to
was-
kill Sonny.
none of that was particularly convincing. The point is, we work for the royal family, so we have protecting them. We have a lot of like reason to carry weapons, but she was our work companion and certainly no slouch with a weapon, if I recall correctly. There was
Yeah, she
Okay.
was actually fairly strong and could probably take out a good chunk of us.
Especially Miles.
she
Look,
was
that's
one
beside
of
the
the more
point.
useful members of the team, so therefore there's no reason for us to dispose of her.
Hmm. Well. Okay. Well, the issue is, I was able to find a few people that we can put up on the stand in good faith for you guys, but I'm now needing to find a way to explain all of the other people that saw you all go into the church basement with Sunny and then never exit the church basement without her. And
Who
then when
saw
they
us?
go to find you all, they find you in the same church that this woman died in.
Now, who saw us go into the basement? Because we only went to the basement in an empty church. So
People saw you enter the
And
church.
yeah, we went into the church, but no one saw us go into the basement at any point.
Mm.
I s-
Mhm.
Yeah, and
Hugging
plus
on
we also all
Zeminiar.
came out of the basement together.
Mhm.
We have our friend in the bell tower. He'll vouch for us.
I did not know of this bell tower person. He was not one of the few I grabbed.
Are
Exactly.
you sure you'll be able to get him out of there?
Well, I'm sure if someone
Yeah,
just
he's
goes
pretty
to
happy
talk
up there.
to him-
Well,
But
the
he
issue
doesn't
is,
go out, does he?
the issue
just
is
goes
we
out
have
then.
court after this. So whatever we have in this room and what I pulled prior is it. To get you guys off of
Oh,
this.
we're
And the
screwed.
hardest and the biggest evidence they have against you, really, is the fact that people saw you go in and never come out with this woman.
And where did you say Sunny was found?
In the basement.
Ah,
The last place you guys were known to be.
But why didn't they look for us in the basement if they found Sunny in the basement?
Well,
It
what
seems
And
a
why
little
would we
weird
go
that
back?
we wouldn't be there, right?
I
And
find
no
it
one saw
odd.
us come out.
No one at least remembers you guys going out. Essentially, what they say was you all were there with Hamlet, Prince Hamlet. He then was originally in the
Oh,
basement.
God.
And
Mm-hmm.
from there, you guys then were out and about throughout the area, asking about the basement, then going to the basement, all of you. From there,
Yeah, how many days
Hamlet
ago
was not
that?
in the basement,
How
as
many
he
days ago?
stated.
How many days
She
ago
was
were
found
we in?
3 days ago.
No, not when she was found. How many days ago did people see us go into the basement?
Let's
Yeah,
see.
that's
You
a good
guys,
question.
you guys were with Hamlet about a week ago now. Then you guys were missing for about
Ah.
2 days, and then 3 days ago they found you they found Sunny in the basement. So
When
they're
was
estimating
Hamlet
that
in the
he
basement?
died.
Wait. So they waited that many days before going to check?
Oh no, they were looking everywhere else first for you guys because they didn't know she was dead.
And why
She-
again would we ever go back if you guys were checking every day?
That's what they found odd. They were looking in many of places and the church as well, which is when Harold found you guys today.
And it doesn't.
Was there?
Look, I
It
know we
doesn't
look like a
seem
bunch
like
of
we
idiots, but these
disappeared.
three are actually smart.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't seem to like we were part of a disappearance as well.
Well, that's what they thought at first, because again, you
Well,
were with
that's
the
the
syndicate
correct
working
thought.
for the guard. They assumed yet again, when it comes to Prince Hamlet at times, that people go missing, which I have against you guys, that this happens a lot with people with Hamlet. Do I think it's going to go well in the court? No. Seeing this is royal court, not the civil court. So,
Oh, damn.
you can imagine who's going to be on the panel today. That we have to convince that you are not guilty. I'm sure you can guess.
Yes, is
But-
it going to be Hamlet
Guys, I'm
himself?
not talking for this one.
In theory, that's why I'm needing to know where you guys went, and you're telling me that you guys went into the basement, she fell asleep, and then what happened?
After
Look, there was clearly some divine magic going on. Our senses were befuddled, and we were moved out of the basement. We aren't clear as to what happened between that time and when Sunny's body was found, but we were eventually returned to the basement, and obviously made to look like we were part of this crime when we are not.
I
If-
could try to go for insanity.
That's not insanity. That's clearly we were assaulted by some magical means.
As
Magic
someone
users
that
that can
is
go down?
familiar with the church and magic,
I wouldn't
Miles
put the
would
church
know
to
that.
this. I wouldn't blame this on the church. That doesn't seem like that didn't come into what I said at all.
I said magic too.
Yes, magic is fine. The church, not so much. Don't bring the church up. The church is not
Well,
involved.
It makes sense for the royal court to have a magic user go down and inspect where Sunny's body was.
A very
if
bright
you
idea,
Lay a
Herbo.
claim about divine magic. Can't we do that?
Yeah, seriously, when we went...
Well, apparently
Why
our
didn't they
court
do that?
date is
We
5
thought of it,
minutes
and we
from
did.
now. So you're
They
saying
found nothing.
So you're saying we went down there a week ago, 2 days later, Sunny's body, or 2 days later, Sunny's body is found, but we're still missing. And then another 3 days go by, and then we're finally found.
Today, yeah.
So we're missing from before the point when Sunny's found dead in the church until after the point when nobody knows where we are this whole time.
Correct. Which is why I'm asking
And-
you for.
Well, like I said, our senses were affected by magic, and we can't possibly know the truth of where we were.
Seriously, if you guys would have used Arcana, I mean, hell, we used Arcana when we went down there, along with detecting, trying to figure out everything we could about the basement.
And we did, and it was a normal basement with a dead body in there. There
Did
was no
you-
magic.
But
Did you
couldn't
find
you
that on the
use
map?
like any detection spells on Sunny's dead body?
That would be up to the coroner to speak on. But from what I've
Was
seen,
there
what he
someone
did,
with the coroner?
he was working by himself. Claudius tends to do that. He works by himself. But
And you trust that?
he's been with them for centuries.
Oh well.
Do I
don't
He's a
trust that one bit.
Loxodon.
Well,
Do I know a Claudius?
But in theory, he did do every test that he could, and there was remnants of magic on her, but not the room.
What kind of magic?
wouldn't that tell you that she was killed outside the room? Because there would definitely be some mana discharge somewhere in the room if there was any magic used to kill her there. Even if she were to use magic, her magic would have probably affected the area around her.
I agree with that, and I don't think that's what they're going with. They think she was killed somewhere in the church, but not in that room. There wasn't enough blood in that room for it to be her final resting area.
That doesn't sound right either.
Where was
there
the blood?
Plenty of blood.
Confusing.
They were never able to find it, but they are assuming it's in the church since they never saw her leave the church.
So they're basing
So
their
they don't
entire-
know where the blood splatter is.
They're basing their conclusion on assumptions.
Circumstantial evidence.
Basing it on their
Very-
racism against dwarfs.
Well, that I can get behind, but
Seeing Winslow is the only one charged with murder, and the rest of you are conspiracy. They don't believe Winslow was tall enough to essentially kill Sonny, but what they're claiming the motive is essentially you guys are working for the Syndicate, which then is working for the Royal Guard. That means your guys' pay is split a various amount. Winslow's greedy for money and deals, based on what some shopkeepers had said. And
What?
from there, essentially what's happened is now you want to kill Sonny to get more money out of your guys' contract with the royal family. Is what they are stating. And they have many people, not any of them testifying because they didn't want to bring that many people into this courtroom. But yes. And the only reason why it's at royal court is because you guys are working for them currently.
And so, what is your
They
argument
are
for
so-
me?
Stupid.
Your argument is, one, I don't mean to insult you, Sir Winslow. I don't think you are a mastermind person. Based on what I've heard about you, from the few people that knew of you and remembered you guys, there was this one old lady at a bookstore. She remembered you guys, and she liked you very much. And she had said, no, they're nice individuals. They asked me about the Hentitis book. And she was very nice and great. She wasn't able to come to court, but I do have a written statement from her saying that you are a good character. I have a lot of character witnesses, the best for you. I was able to find Sir Miles's butler Jarvis, who will be testifying, saying that you guys are great people, is what he told me he
thank
would
God.
only say. And then there's Martha, actually, who was willing to speak up for you guys. Any one of the royal
Martha?
family, yes. Martha. She's willing to speak for you guys, but no one in the royal family can speak. Gilly was screaming up and down the halls about it, but she cannot speak at this event. Obviously, the two princes cannot, since they are on the panel tonight. And the king is on the panel tonight, for once. Of course. So
So
we
you're
have-
saying is the people that could speak the best for us can't speak for us. Oh, this feels
Correct.
rigged.
And not just that, they have, unfortunately, Lady Laura on their side, who is not scared to pry and question anything out of people. And essentially, the worst thing you could do in this court is question them back, because at the end of the day, there is no jury. It is just those royal family members. So you have to sway them.
Oh, well,
And the king is not as fun. And the best way to say this, in a civil court, this would be pretty much a no jury. You would go to the judge, to the bench, instead of a jury. And that's essentially how royal court is done here. You all will be put on the stand to answer any questions that is asked towards you. A few other people will be put on the stand. Lady Laura gets to go first. Winslow, you are the one on trial today. And essentially, if you are found innocent, they can't really charge the rest of you, because how are you guys accomplices to murder unless they also charge you the same day, which they can do. It's very rare when they do.
So I will
But-
be able to speak even though they claim I do not have rights.
Correct. You are allowed to speak in court and testify, but I just represent you to where if you start saying any nonsense that sounds like you're insane, I have to step in, Sir Winslow.
Understood.
But essentially, you have no rights, so they could really do anything with you, while the rest of you do have rights. So there are certain rules and protocols that they have to follow, and laws they have to follow. With you, Winslow, you are fair game since you are property of the country. I am sorry. But Attorney Dan is
Someone
here
has
to
to-
save you. As the wind blows, like, from the window, almost. Just as
Yes.
capes blowing.
Something about this does not inspire confidence.
But I would just say make sure you have all of your little ducklings in a row, all your details in line for when they ask you questions. And is there anything else you want to ask me, you all?
Scale of 1 to
Why-
10. Are we surviving this?
I would say so. It seems like no one told you prior to what was going on, which is good. The only thing I heard about was a possible jailhouse snitch, which I doubt they will pull in because that man is heinous beyond all belief. But
Be the guy that Miles convinced to crap his pants.
I
Yes.
did no such thing.
yes, they were
That's part
keeping
of
him
the
alive
day.
because he said he had some knowledge on this Sunny person, so they kept him alive for this long and waiting his sentencing. And I doubt they're gonna pull him in now.
He
Seeing the
certainly
guards-
didn't sound the most reputable.
No, but Lady
Neither
Laura will pull
logic.
all strings if she can.
So the guy that might have information about it isn't the biggest suspect. We don't even know what's going on.
It's very interesting, and their case is very weak, and I think they're aware of it. It's not even the royal family that wanted to charge it, so I feel like, honestly, you guys are in a good place, even if you don't have a lot of evidence for you guys.
Wait,
The royal... Yeah.
who the hell is charging us then?
Oh, it's the city guard.
Ah,
It's their they have to do their due diligence and cross their T's and dot their I's. They can't just let a murder happen and do nothing about it.
Can I have a piece of paper and a pen real quick? Just,
Of course.
I might need to write a note to somebody. I think I have just the thing.
You have a notepad, but I can hand you another one.
Yes, of course. And I just let me write this to the DM so that you.
Can be edited not by all players. Try the actual fuck again. Save. There you go. But, yes. So I will right now. I'm gonna go and start looking through some books. They're probably gonna take you back to the cells right before court. And then, we go. Alright?
So, how are you
Ugh.
feeling about all of this?
Me?
Winslow.
Suppose I don't really have any choice or much of an argument in the matter.
I suppose
Hold on,
that's
this is
true.
gonna take me a little bit to write out, so just.
You're good.
So
And
just
as
have some character building moment.
Yep, so as you guys are sitting there, and he's like, don't worry, the guards will be up soon. Don't mind me. We have confidentiality. I won't say anything outside these walls that won't benefit you guys. As he goes to his bookshelf and he just starts looking through books, you guys have time to sit and kind of get your story straight. In theory.